friends and bees and friends who are also bees, and welcome to this week's bonus stream, which is more Final Fantasy XIV. This week we are going to be doing the finishing off the storyline of Yorha, and we are also going to be doing Werlyt. I don't think there's anything else, but I will look dumbfounded for a bit while I stare at the patch notes, trying to work out if there is anything else. So we'll see. In the meantime, Retainer brought me back a belt. Swap over to the gameplay, shall we? Very helpful. A ninja belt. You know, that class that I don't play. Anyway, let us go off to Tomra to pick up with Yorha questline. So yesterday we started this by trying to find and rescue Konog, which we did, and we also found Anog, who was had some sort of connection to 9S and 2B. We ran through the tower, which I'm not going to do for the third time because I already did it today, and discovered that somehow 9S and 2, the giant orb was sent from another world and was said to destroy this world, as were 9S and 2B, and they are now trying to go back into the orb to destroy it, as did Anog, in order that this world might be saved. Goodness me, have I ever got hiccups. And then that was it. We didn't do any more after that, so I'm gonna go pick up those quests now. And also have hiccups, and as per usual, my second monitor is freaking out, as it loves to do, so that's great. Earlier today it like completely turned off. I don't want it to break because I can't afford another monitor right now. Part of my brain is like, if I just ignore the problem, it will go away, right? Which is objectively not true, but there we go. Fuck, I forgot. Completely unrelated to anything else. I need to go get an onion, and beat something up with my chocobo so he can advance. Stuck at rank 17. And I can't afford anything else. Cool. Not just like completely space out. Okay, Dickside Chief. Relieved his ears that you and Konog are safe. He wished to know Anog's fate. Don't know how much I can tell you, mate. So what happened in there? Well, I won't pretend I understood half of that. Can't say metaphysics is my area of expertise. Still, I knew those androids in white and their weird orb were trouble. And you're saying that you gave them what for, so they won't be coming back, which is good, right? Glad to hear it. Thanks for rescuing your neck for us. Remember how I said earlier that my second monitor died? It just did the same thing. Where's Anog though? And your android friends for that matter. Seems like they should have come back with you. I'm sorry. No, but why? Well, we strongly suspect it's because she's a robot. Just don't seem fair. Was holding out hope, you know, that everyone would be fine and life would go back to normal. I should have known better, sure, but someone will need to tell the villagers. Again. Also, I changed my glamour. I decided that I liked the I'm gonna kill you Pretzel rocks. Decided that I liked the Crypt Lurker shirt too much to not wear it, so I changed my glamour. As for Connacht, can you speak with him? I managed to talk him out of running back in there as soon as he woke up, but this might be better coming from you. Or maybe I'm just a coward. Why not both? Stop telling me you've got a new signal. Here's some shit. Bear with. Oh, we're back. Okay. How do you want to lose the signal? Could have a frayed video cable. That's not ideal. Okay, well, I'll fuck with my video cables after the stream. No, it's not really the time. So we're going on for the last 2 days, so if it's that the video cable is broken, that's fine, I can probably one of those. I need to do an order anyway, so. You're back, but where's everyone else? Well, I've got some bad news, mate. No, she can't be gone. She wouldn't leave me forever. Because if she did, there'd be no one left to... A letter? From Anog? Connacht, I've been to another world. I've seen it. Phone is saying, what did you have dinner, and also, did you know that you're live? What does this mean? The world, they're constructs? It's hardly a reason to run off on her own. She could have... I would have... I have something I need to do, so... This watch belongs to the chief's wife. I found it when I was clearing rubble earlier. It was broken, but I went ahead and fixed it. She'd probably like it back, so can you give it back to the chief for me? Wouldn't they be happier if you delivered it yourself? I can't. I need to... Never mind. I'm sorry. I appreciate all you've done for us. If only I was as strong as you are. This is a complete aside, but the costume making part of my brain is looking at the shirt I'm wearing now, and it's like, I want to make it. Maybe someday. I made a rig very similar to that, which was a little bit too small because I had to mess about with a pattern that I had, and I did it badly because I'm not very good at making things without a proper pattern, but it wasn't terrible. Oops. And like, could definitely make that. Like the basic robe itself would be relatively easy as long as I measured right. The shirt would be a bit harder, but it's just because of this bit. I don't know what I would make that of. I've used like, there's buttons there, and then this looks like perhaps like black twine maybe, and then like, obviously this is dyed, so it'd be different for the actual one and not my metallic silver one, but like, then like silver twine for this bit. Again, I'd struggle with the metallic portions, but my worry would be making... Okay. So it must like connect up to a point in the hood and then go down. So I would make this bit with my arms like as wide out as they're going to be, like T-posing, and then make it so that it has sort of flexibility for when you change your arms. Oops. No, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to. Cool. Get absolutely distracted by thinking about costume making rather than anything story related as per usual. How did it go? Eh? Something of a missus? Can you repair by Connor? No. Anytime I squeak like that, I assume it's my monitor turning off. Wicked, why? We thought this was gone for good. She'll be glad to have it back. It's all she has left of her parents. Why didn't Connell come in person though? He must have known we'd want to thank him. No, not him too. Seems that you have once again caused to comfort a distraught dwarf. Oof. Oh my gosh. Watch as I accidentally click out of the game like a fool. Always happens at the worst time. It's always when I'm like in combat, in a raid, or in a trial, where like abruptly I just click out and I'm like, huh? Why are none of my things going off as intended? Ew. That'll do it. He left a letter of farewell. He's gone. I wish I could have done something. Anything. We lost them both and it's our own fault. We drove them to this. Can't be right. What is right in the end? I don't know, but this ain't it, Chief. The villagers need to understand that we can't keep on like this. They might be better listeners now that they don't have to live in fear anymore. They can believe that's the case, that is. Would you mind sticking around? It'll seem more credible coming from the both of us. I'm here for as long as you need me. I knew you would be. You're always willing to do what needs doing. I'm ready to do my part too. Wait here. That would be relatively easy to make as well, I reckon. I would buy like a basic black belt. A bunch of chains. To be honest, in this case, I would probably add the detail on with paint, maybe? It's a bit too complex for me to do. It's why the way to do it ideally would be like some sort of like puffy paint almost, something that gives it that texture. I should really like stop thinking about costume making, given that I am not going to be able to do it for ages, probably. Not least because my sewing machine's back in the UK, but now that you're all here, I have an important announcement. Maeve has put an end to those machines and their plot. This means the danger's past, but more importantly, that it's time we look to the future. We'll need to come together. Hold your eye on frogs. Even if those things are gone, this ain't over. Culprit needs to be brought to justice. How can you expect people to move forward if we don't set an example? That's right, we want to see consequences. Do you really? We need to talk them down or we'll never get anywhere with this. Bloodthirsty bastards. I need to see what Glag says, right? Then he won't blame me, and whatever happens, it won't be my fault. No, this is a choice you have to make yourself. But then it'll be my responsibility, no matter what happens. Someone else should be the one. We're back in Tolamawashi. The sooner we deal with the culprit, the sooner we can all relax. You know I'm right. Glag thinks so too. The blame could just as easily fall on someone you love. Probably won't work on me. I don't have anyone to worry about. No family, no friends, no lovers. I don't have anyone. Basically, life sucks for all of these dwarfs. All we need is 1 or 2 people to take the blame. Then the rest of us can get back to our normal lives. Are you planning to volunteer? Why should I? I've done nothing wrong. Not a single thing. Justice should be swift and decisive, I say. Nothing so satisfying as the heaven's axe coming down. And if it comes down on the wrong person? At least we'll be able to put this mess behind us. Forget the whole thing. I can't think about it anymore. I just can't. Most prudent course is to cooperate with Glag and rid the village of the guilty party. Then everything will be as it was. Is it really prudent to follow harm with cruelty? For one, Glag wouldn't have suggested it. He's the elder. He knows how these things work. If not, then don't be ridiculous. Well, they've settled down a bit at least. Thanks for that. Still sober, eh? Then I'll ask, what do you reckon we should do? Stop this before it's too late. Maybe the outsider's right. We'll never agree on who should take the blame for the attack, which means the real problem is Glag. Did feel a lot more confident before he started telling us to listen to other perspectives. He's been trying to turn us against each other, but he's the elder here. Shouldn't he have seen our village's fiery destruction by skybound machines coming? What? No. No one could have foreseen this. No matter how wise they are or how hard they try, no one's right every time. We've all made mistakes here, believe me. Anok, Konok, Glag, the whole lot of you, and me. All of us. Except for me, I'm perfect. We failed each other. Alas, there he goes again. There he goes. There he goes again. Cutscene time, I guess, for everyone hanging around here. Bloody sorry you had to see that. Oh, I may not be cut out for public speaking. I won't give up on putting Comrade back together, though, in whatever way I can. I don't know what we should have done, but there's nothing for it but to try and do better. Day by day, moment by moment. Day by day, moment with moment. By moment, rather. I can speak English, looks fine shiftily. I admit, I feel better knowing you'll be around. Pardon me. I was thinking about your set, and I realised I probably haven't been the most helpful. I'm choosing to try harder from now on. So if you need another pair of hands... You're more than welcome to join us. Though I'd say we're all past due for a little breather after all that's happened. Take a rest. Chief's orders. Understood. I'll just be over there then, with my thoughts. Yes, not a problem. He's a little odd, but he's got the spirit. I look forward to putting the both of you to work. At your earliest convenience, of course. Dig Slight Chief eyes you expectantly. Lally, thanks again for offering to help us rebuild our village home. So are you rested and ready to begin the work? Once the saving packages deliver. No time like the present. Wonderful. I can't tell you how reassuring it is to have you with us. Now to begin with, we need to discuss how we're going to tackle our task. If you could join another friend over there, I'll be along after I see to some preparation. Well, it's come, my doom has come. It's just you. Sorry, force of habit. So, is it time to rebuild, that is? Everyone's here. Good. Let's get right to it. I have an idea that I want to run by the two of you. In order to rebuild, we're going to need lots of supplies and willing hands, neither of which we have a whole heap of at the moment. But then I thought, what if we availed ourselves of the technology used by the machines? With the wealth of parts they left behind, we have all the materials to rebuild and upgrade our automata to do the work. Not only would it be practical, since we'd be using the force behind our destruction for salvation, it's also poetic. For your part in this, Maeve, I'd ask you to venture into the tunnels and gather those items what might be useful. Whatever you find, you can bring to our friend here. He'll examine the objects to see how they might be put to use. Let's give the doomsaying dwarf some confidence. And that's about it. So what do you think? Sounds like a plan. Good, good. With this, the rebuilding can finally commence. We'll prove to everyone that you can't keep us dwarves down. Except maybe with copious amounts of grog. That's been an issue, historically. Well, guess be getting back to my post. Without someone breathing down their necks, a mine is liable to stand around with their thumbs up the rosses. If you have any questions, you can direct them at our friend here. Between you and me, we're probably doomed to fail. But if it's going to happen anyway, there's no point in delaying it. That's to say, if you're ready to begin, then so am I. Weekly quest which continues the story is now available from the Doomsaying Dwarf in Comra. Lend your aid and help the dwarves of Comra rebuild their home. All that grinds is not gloom. Get to work, you? Good, good. As per the chief's instructions, your task is to gather items the machines left behind that might prove useful for rebuilding our village. Do you know any suitable places for this? The machines have a base deep in the tunnels. Oh, that sounds perfectly forbidden. While you're out there searching, I'll get my tools ready for dismantling. I look forward to seeing the spoils of your foray. This is cool. This is, I guess, a reason to get people to keep running, like, CF and stuff. Unless we can, like, just straight up walk in. It was like... I don't know. Well, apparently there's 3 of them, so... Let's do them for this week. If it requires running the tower again, then I'll queue for it while I go do Werlyt, but may not do it on... we'll see. We'll see whether I do it on camera. I wonder if it's like each week you go through each zone. That'd be cool. It's not necessarily like a reason to run the whole thing again, but it's still pretty cool. Pretty certain I'm oh yeah, I'm missing a whole bunch, especially for CF, so maybe I'll get them again this time. I don't know where they are. I feel like I maybe got them on a shard, but not on me. Well, we'll see. I should be allowed to go down there. Just saying. Oh, poor small stubby. Don't hurt the stubby. They are but small and also stubby. I've been in here before, but I didn't realise quite how, like, fucked up it is, you know? Just shows you how much attention I pay in general, I guess. Oh, pardon me. I know we could go back, but I want to keep going through this CF just to see if I can pick up all the items. I'll try and get as many of the ones I'm missing at least. Oops, watch as I go completely the wrong way. So I've got all the ones with PB, that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It seems to be nothing more than kill enemy. Troubling those that auto-evolution systems have begun to build a private network. Oops. I keep accidentally hitting shift to sprint as if I'm playing Destiny. Looks like I'm shift delay. I'll read through all of these at the end actually, it'll probably be easier. What have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I think we've got 2 more maybe? Emphasis on the maybe. It's been a while since I've like been. Did I just like well, I guess that's as far as you can go. Oops. Our world never doubted. Only closed its eyes, the better to turn unburdened. In that world we once knew, sharp and shattered, a single spark of memory grows to a flame. It shines upon the lost, and at last we understand. Well, that's all we can do then, let's go back. God, I am fucking warm, let me tell you that. I tend to buy, this is off topic, but just to explain why I like take a sip and then it looks like I'm chewing something. I like a bit of pulp in my orange juice, so I tend to buy it, but the place where I go shopping, they only have like no pulp or extra pulp. They don't have like normal amounts of pulp, which means that it's like a centimetre thick layer of pulp on top of any glass I have. Drenched my beard, I've never seen anything like this. It's not going to suddenly spring to life and strangle me, is it? Well, if you're sure, I set about studying it at once. Should mention the chief was looking for you. Seems he has news to share. Something dreadful, I shouldn't doubt. Lally, you'll never believe this home, Maeve. Something's arrived at the village for you. From Connog. Looks to be some kind of technological what's it. See this gold pattern here? I haven't the faintest how you'd read it, though. The portable archive things the siblings built should do the trick. Huh, so you just wave this archive at it? Well, there you go. Feel free to check it at your leisure. No, might be as Connog's up and left the village, but the fact that he's still keeping in touch, it gives me hope that he hasn't given up on us yet. So I'll keep doing what I can. I'll keep working to change this village into a place that Connog would want to return to. We've got lots of mountain to climb and it's going to take a lot of time, but bit by bit, with your help, I'm sure we'll get there. Obtain a message from Connog. Collection. Portable archive. Connog's messages. Hope this message finds you. I'm going on a journey to learn the secrets of the white spheres for myself. Maybe some of them will be of use to you. I'll keep a record just in case. Well, I guess it changes each week then? Question mark. Wow. That would appear to be that for now. This is available 4:20, blaze it. Next Tuesday at 1 o'clock Earth time, which is reset time and sleeping time for me. Let us port over to wherever we go. Let's port over to the logs. And having gone from that confusing yet relatively good story, let's go do Yorha now. Resistant troops have received intriguing information from Werlyt. Don't know if I'm going to try and do Savage today. Probably not. Wasn't expecting to see you here, considering all that's been happening about Eorzea of late. Still, if you've a mind to assist us, we'd like to share the latest developments in Werlyt. And as luck would have it, here comes the ideal person to explain the situation. Thanks. I'll take it from here. Is your friend and mine, Monaco? Glad to see you looking so well, Maeve. It's been too long, Monaco. Yes, certainly has. Haven't seen you around Ralga's Reach much lately. Anyone would think you're trying to avoid me. But as much as I'd love to stand around chatting, I'm afraid I've got some serious business to discuss. Following the liberation of Turncliffe, it seems the people of Werlyt also have their hearts set on freeing themselves from the grip of the Empire. Like-minded citizens have rallied under the banner of the Werlyt Revolutionaries, and they aim to depose the 7th Legion that currently occupies the city. Their ranks include many former conscripts, and between them, they possess no small amount of combat experience. The only thing they lack is someone to lead them. After much consideration, they decided to turn none other than Gaius van Dixit. Of course, many would balk at the thought of turning to a former enemy, and many did, but desperate times called for desperate measures. His reputation as a legatus speaks for himself, and as most Alamegans will attest, he was a far more reasonable and pragmatic leader than his predecessor, Mad King Theodoric, or his successor, Zenos, for that matter. Most importantly, he was the one who led the invasion of Werlyt in the first place, so who better than him to take it back? After accepting the offer, he requested delivery of additional arms and provisions from the Alamegan resistance. We've got our hands full dealing with the Telephoroi, as do the rest of our allies in Eorzea, but we'll do what we can. While my comrades see to the preparations, I've been assigned to meet with him in person. Was wondering, could you accompany me to Turncliffe? Thanks. To be perfectly honest, coming face to face with the Black Dwarf is a rather daunting prospect, even if he has supposedly turned a new leaf. But I'm sure having you there will make a world of difference. Yep, I'll be there to slap him repeatedly. Lots of M-slaps going on. But if you're acquainted with our escort, yes? Let him know when you're ready to get going. Fuck off, Gaius van Dipshit. That's what I have to say. What do I have to run all the way over here? Why can't you be closer? Wow, wow. Another tip to Turncliffe, is it? Dancing in the sky, living in the sky, diamonds. I only know the. I want to say it's interparty system, but I don't think it is. Cobra Starship, that's what it is. Dancing with the stars, living in the sky with diamonds. God only knows how I got IPS and Cobra Starship mixed up. By being an idiot, no doubt. Ah, Gaius Balsar, I presume? Come bearing the Alamegan Resistance official reply to your request for aid. I see. You have my thanks. Does this mean we can finally make our move? With the assistance of the Alamegans, we'll soon have sufficient arms at our disposal to stand a chance at victory. But lest we forget, the 7th Legion has been conserving its strength thus far, and we must be prepared for severe casualties should its full might be brought to bear. If our lives must be the price of freedom, then we will pay it willingly. Margot's like, oh, reminds me of home. Let me be clear. We Alamegans have not forgotten that it was you that led the invasion of our homeland. The blood of our fallen loved ones is on your hands. So there. Even so, the people of Werlyt chose you to lead their revolution, and we will honour their decision. I only hope that they will not come to regret it. As do I. Should I be found unworthy of their trust, I shall submit to their judgment, and whatever that may entail. Forgive me, but might we return to the task at hand? First, I'd like to discuss the transportation of supplies from Alamego. This way, if you please. She's right, and she should say it. Once again, I prepare to lead an army into Werlyt. The irony is not lost on me. It's a cruel twist of fate that these people, so desperate from years of oppression, should turn to their conqueror for salvation. At least he's admitting it. For most of my life, I believed that only the Empire possessed the strength and wisdom to lead mankind, that only through a great sacrifice could civilization hope to thrive. So I led the conquest of Eorzea, forcing the doctrine of Garlemald onto the ignorant and uncivilized. In every territory, I sought out those with the potential for greatness, without regard for one's birth or circumstances, that they may serve the Empire. But there are those such as Valens who see being born Garlean a virtue in itself, when above all others. To think that a monster such as him should be granted the position of legatus and everything that entails makes my blood boil. I'm gonna say the egalitarianism of Gaius' conscription does not make it any less conscription. Just because he's like, oh, it doesn't matter, you know, who you are or where you're from, as long as you're good, you can serve me and serve my army in conquering your allies, because otherwise we're probably just going to kill you and your family. That doesn't make it better if you ask me. I feel like Valen's is objectively worse, of course. A lot of people are worse, but he's not... Them being worse doesn't necessarily make Gaius better, if that makes sense. The way I see it is I don't think Gaius has a leg to stand on when he's like, oh, Valen's is such a monster. Like, you're not much better, you're just a different sort. Either way, the Empire is still an empire. And if anyone knows what it's like to be from an empire that has fucked up the entire world, I think it'd be me. I realise the way I said that makes no sense unless you, like I have, been reading a fair amount about post-colonial and anti-colonial and decolonial feminism recently. Valens brings shame upon my homeland, makes mock of the ideals it once stood for. By my hand he shall pay for his foul crimes. A. Have you seen Xenos? He is a madman. B. Xenos is insane in the brain. C. Valens... Garlemald doesn't have ideals. Valens is also a shitting madman, but he's not... It's what happens when you give people like that power, and it was your government that did that, and your army. You gave him the power to be abused, it wasn't anyone else. We're running out of time, Gaius. We have to go after her. Something I'd show you, but not here. Come with me, so I can stab you in the back. Where am I going? Fair. Must keep this to yourself. I do not want the soldiers to think I'm being distracted by personal matters. Mogzoom. This letter was found in her room. It's all bloody letters today, isn't it? Dear Father, I'm sorry for leaving without saying goodbye, but the thought of Alphonse suffering alone is more than I can bear. For his sake and for the freedom of Werlyt, I've decided to take matters into my own hands. I know of a way to save them, a way to end it all. I have to seize this chance before it is too late. My mind is set. Please, do not try to stop me, Father. The days we spent together were the happiest of my life, and no matter what happens, nothing can take that away from me. With all my love, your brainwashed child, Ali. She's headed for the 7th Legion stronghold on Werlyt. I'm certain of it. Taking matters into her own hands. She must be planning to take control of one of the weapons. If so, there's no time to waste. We have to mobilise our forces and save Ali and Alphonse. Want nothing more than to save them, but I cannot ask the Werlyt revolutionaries to risk their lives to rescue 2 Imperial soldiers. In any case, if we were to rush into battle without adequate preparation, the 7th Legion would tear our partisan army to shreds. And as capable a warrior as Mavis, if they were to charge headlong into the heart of the enemy, they'd be overwhelmed by sheer numbers. But if we don't do something, Ali and Alphonse are as good as dead. I know Sebra, and so did Ali when she wrote that letter. Returning alive was never part of her plan, so it's okay if she dies then? I'm with you, Sebra. Can you hear me? I'm in Werlyt, just outside Castrum Collinum. All hells have broken loose. There was an enormous explosion, and through the smoke and flames I saw what appeared to be another weapon. At this rate, the entire... Confound it, lost the signal. This must be what Ali spoke of in her letter, a way to end it all. Alphonse and the others were planning this from the beginning, to bring the weapon project to completion and use it to free Werlyt from the Empire, even at the cost of their own lives. If the revolutionaries were to hear that weapon has been unleashed upon Imperial headquarters, they'd see it as a perfect opportunity to strike. If it's running amok, it may not distinguish between our allies and the Imperials. A large force will draw too much attention, but the 3 of us should be able to get close enough without it noticing us. Face up to your responsibility, Gaius Van Dipshit. Between us, me and Severa will find a way to save them. Cannot allow it. This is my burden to bear. Boo-hoo, I shall bear it alone by letting my kids die. Rest assured, I have every intention of making out alive. Very well. For the time being, I will have the revolutionaries stand by and await my signal. An opportunity to reclaim Werlyt may yet present itself, but we must first be allowed to remove the threat of this new weapon. Severa, have Sid ready the G-Warrior. Understood. Once your preparations are complete, let us reconvene outside the hangar. Oh, sorry, my lips are incredibly dry. Sometime earlier, in the 7th Legion's Werlyt headquarters. Whoops, I missed what he was saying because I was looking at FC chat. In my patience, I may have vented my frustrations on that brother of yours. I do hope you'll forgive me. Lord Valens, you mentioned before that the previous weapons were merely prototypes used to gather combat data within their cores. Very good. I see you were paying attention after all. Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald. The primals they absorbed and the data they accumulated will serve a singular purpose. The completion of my masterpiece, the diamond weapon. But while you and your siblings were able to retrieve the necessary data from the Ruby weapon before Gaius and his lackeys arrived, Sapphire and Emerald were handed to the enemy on a silver platter. Those worthless curs failed to meet even my exceedingly low expectations. As you told on my report, I took it upon myself to infiltrate Gaius Balsa's band of rebels and reclaim the data. You've done very well, my dear. My engineers have already finished feeding it to the diamond weapon. Then all that remains is for me to assume my role as its pilot, and for you to release my brother and the rest of our compatriots, as per our agreement. Of course, a handful of savages is a small price to pay for your remarkable talents. Even though the weapons project's revolutionary technology allows even an untrained pilot to fight with the skills of a veteran soldier, only the truly gifted can draw out the full potential of the synthetic aurosite. In addition to their physical attributes and combat prowess, I require unwavering loyalty before I can even consider entrusting a candidate with one of my creations. And you are everything I need. I'm honoured that you regard me so highly, Lord Valens. However, in return for my continued cooperation, I wish to propose an extra condition to our agreement. I request that the people of Werlyt be given full imperial citizenship and the right to self-govern. How very bold of you, and quite astute at that. Yes, I could grant the people of Werlyt citizenship if I so desired. Unfortunately, a mere legato such as myself is in no position to simply relinquish control to imperial territory on a whim. Come now, we both know that the weapons are but a means to an end. Your true intent is to march on the capital and claim it for yourself, correct? Once you've taken the throne, one small territory would seem a fair reward for those who played a vital role in the ascension of Emperor Valens. For someone so sweet and innocent, you certainly drive a hard bargain. Very well, if it's a Werlyt you want, it's yours. I'll soon have no need for this stinking backwater province anyway. And what about my brother? Alwick, was it? Or Alfred? Whatever his name is, you needn't worry. I've made special arrangements for him. I'll be perfectly safe, provided you uphold your side of the agreement. Excellent. Now let's get you aboard the diamond weapon, shall we? one step closer to my coronation. I was fully expecting Ali to like stab him in the back of the neck there. This is the moment I've been waiting for. I know this isn't what Father would have wanted, but it's the only way. Please, forgive me. Initiating the synthetic aurosite system. All sensors activated. So far, so good. Diamond weapon, codename Xenos Yeet Galvus. Commencing activation sequence. Behold, perfection itself. Melisandre, Rickon, and Rex gave their lives, that others may live without fear. Aurosite's taking hold. I'm just glad that you didn't have to go through this, Alphonse. But you'll have to go on without me. You and must still work together to... I'm sorry I can't be there at your side. This is the only way. What's that, my dear? Is something the matter? The diamond weapon is mine. Your tyranny ends here, Valens. Is Ali going to like stab him in the back of the neck, but this time with a giant robot? If so, that's cool as shit. Those guys have the right idea. Sorry for the pings that you keep hearing that are ST chat. Level 5th. If you think a little performance had me fooled, you are sorely mistaken. What are you waiting for? Shut it down. Yes, my lord. Transmitting deactivation signal. Not responding. Instant whelp had me worried for a moment. Bring her to me alive, even if it means damaging the machine. Gross. Come on, Ali. I believe in you. Can't make it end like this. Melisandre, Rickon, Rex, guide my hand. Alphonse, wherever you are, lend me your strength. Combat sample ready. Initiating overmind. Subject name. Overmind? What is that? Bad. Ow. Can't be. It's ignoring the shutdown signal and initiating overmind. But how? Don't care how. Stop that thing before it drinks down the whole castrum. I think that may be a bit too late, buddy. got distracted by a FC chat there. I was like, go Ali, and changed mind. Don't go Ali, be safe Ali. But not for you, I suspect Geist would have ventured into Werlyt by himself with little more than a gunblade for protection. Well, there may yet be hope for Ali and Alphonse. Ready to depart? I'll send for Master Garland. There he is, your friend and mine. We all expected another weapon to appear sooner or later, but not quite like this. According to Valdolin, after it finished laying waste to the headquarters of the 7th Legion, it took to the sky. Though this has dealt a massive blow to the Imperial forces, I am certain that Ali is on board the G weapon. It must be halted before she comes to harm, and for that, I need the G warrior and airships to transport it. You can see that one thing hasn't changed since your days of the Black Wolf, your penchant for gigantic war machina. But if it means the G warrior has another chance to shine, I'd be happy to oblige. Only this time, rather than having unceremoniously towed by airship, I have a more dynamic entrance in mind. Good to see you again, Maeve. I've no idea who this person is. From what I hear, we have you to thank for Avelina volunteering to help the ironworks. Since she joined the team, our work has come on in leaps and bounds. Just grateful for the opportunity to finally put my knowledge and skills to good use. And as far as I can tell, your target is the diamond weapon, the most powerful of them all. What's worse, its design incorporates all of the combat data and abilities of the other weapons, making it far more formidable than those you've encountered before. Thankfully, we've had time to prepare for such an occasion. Would you care to elaborate? Let me put it like this. Thanks to Avelina's tireless dedication, the G-Warrior has been reborn. There'll be time to explain more on the way. Come on, the Enterprise is waiting. Very impressive, but may I ask what purpose it serves? Since our objective is to rescue the pilot, we've added a means of capturing the diamond weapon. We come to save lives, not end them, and for that reason, the G-Warrior has been reborn. I present to you the G-Saviour. Not to toot your own horn or anything, Garland. It's cool that the G-Warrior itself is like the platform that we fight on, I guess. Off to save Melisandre's foster siblings. Ali and Alphonse, aren't you? Please, do whatever you can to bring them back safely. While you and guys deal with the diamond weapon, I'll be doing my best to aid Valjean's safe return from Werlyt. Hopefully he's taken advantage of the chaos to make good his escape. Be monitoring the situation from the interbreeze. Should things take a turn for the worse, I'll be ready to intervene. Beef soft tacos. Once again, Sid and his engineers have provided precisely what we require before we even knew it ourselves. Due to added complexity, we'll have Gaius pilot while Maeve handles the various armaments. Agreed. There will be little opportunity for us to grow accustomed to our roles, but even so, we must succeed at all costs. Right. Let's do it. Trials, Shadowbringers, Cloud deck. Nice. Good news, my retainer's completed a venture. Mark 1 anti-icon war marker, diamond weapon. Target in sight. Pin it down with a salvo of missiles. Seems very dangerous to... Threat detected. Returning fire. Familiar male voice. We've already had Gaius van Bullseye. Gaius van Bullseye. Why did I not think of that before? Finally got some work like 2 weeks ago graded. That's what my phone was just telling me. Emerge the Mog. Oh, okay, well, we're pulling, I guess. Use the teleporter to move between decks. Looks like we're not paying attention there. Like now? Another Sandia, granting your strength. Oh, okay. Move Yote. Okay. How am I supposed to know that? Oh, the side that she's moving on. Obviously. Too sensible. Can't believe that. That looks like a tank problem. Guess if we get 2 of those, then we're accessing sapphire weapon data. Thingamajig. Arcana with it. Something or another. Never going to be easy. Let's see what you make of this. Perching on. Diamond weapon, show them what you're made of. Have to keep fighting until my dream. Our dream has been realized. Who's this buddy? A skeleton boy? The true face of the diamond weapon. Landed just. Stay sharp. It's far more agile than before. Unfortunately, I can't res anyone due to where they are, so. Blazing Magitech field. There's no escape. Squish. Squinch. Well, there is a TV. Can have res as a treat. Wait, wide, okay. I'm going to short past this just in case. There's like a tiny safe spot. Is there? Or I guess you can do what those guys do, which is like run between it. Can't believe my entire fucking this rate will overheat. Restoring armor. Today we fight as one. Don't worry, Ali. I'll keep you safe. That wasted firebird though, cry softly. Enhanced agility, but only for a short while. We best pin it down while we still can. Definitely misread diamond shrapnel as diamond shrimp. Goodness, it doesn't what I was trying to say. Don't mind me. These guys, they seem to know where they're going. So, please take further away from me.
Come on in, Chuck.
Sure. Come on in. Hello, Mia Wallace. Thank you very much for the raid. It is very much appreciated. I hope you are doing well. You're having a good time. Thank you for the follow. I will check your name in just a minute because I cannot read and fight at the same time. Cute emotes. Hello. Tis me, I'm Mochi. I am a variety streamer. Currently catching up on 5.5, doing Werlyt. I finished Yorha earlier. Not sure what else I'm going to be doing once I finish this quest line, but we'll see. Maybe a really short stream today. Let's see if I can actually pay attention to what's going on. I'm not good at. Right? Very well timed. I don't know if I want to try and join a Savage learning party or if I want to not, because that sounds stressful and difficult. Thank you for the follow, Mia Wallace and Alexis and Snail Rat. Excellent name. Love that. And Tolas Blue as well. Thank you. It is very much appreciated. I'll try my hardest not to get destroyed by lasers. please, if you know how to summon her, don't judge my terrible summoning. Especially when I'm like half distracted. Oh, no, like second phase. Weird. Containment field won't hold. There she goes. Really want to know who this, like, familiar voice was. It's a weird fight, that one. I'm surprised it didn't have a second phase, because, like, mostly, I think it's very rare for that to happen. Chronicle's eyes. We must reach the diamond weapon before the Imperials. Dramatic fade up to the sky. Pardon me. Be humming that music to myself for ages now. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, that's fair. In all the years since the invasion, this place has hardly changed. I was expecting to find some sign of the 7th Legion here, but it would appear the diamond weapon has already taken them out of the equation, as it should be. I've been playing for a couple of years now. It's definitely like more accessible now. One of the things that they did recently is pray we are not too late. They like made getting into the game more accessible and like less frustrating, especially ARR and the like stuff, like the immediate sort of expansions following ARR. It's not ideal, you know, but when is anything? I've heard it is better though. But this is like this is the end of one of the side story like arcs from the latest expansion, so released yesterday too. There she is. Not dead yet. Ali! I should not be so sarcastic. Did I speak too soon? The pinging you hear in the background is my free company chat. Spooky. Please, take her back to Turncliffe. I have some unfinished business to attend to. If you want to kill Valens, I'm pretty certain that's already been done. Dramatic mogzoom. Are you gonna... fuck about on diamond weapon? Now to learn what has become of Alphonse. If you have a score to settle, now is your chance. Show yourself. Oh, damn it, he's not dead. Fuck me. Seemed like Ali had, like, pretty well obliterated him, but that would be too easy, I guess. Come to gloat, have you guys? It's not over yet. You certainly have an instinct for self-preservation. I would expect nothing less from the coward who sacrificed his own soldiers to further his own ambitions. How dare you speak to me of ambitions? You are the one who stood in my way at every turn. Bah, bah, bah. I am a spoiled guardian. Bah, 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 bah. Not for your meddling. Would have gotten away with it. Empire would have been mine. Enough of your delusions of grandeur. Where is Alphonse? He. Why, he's right in front of you. In that area of the robot that the camera zoomed in on. What? Once you hear the answer, you'll kick yourself for not realizing it sooner. You see, in all of their previous models, the combat data was either incomplete or unstable in some way, making their performance in battle wildly unpredictable. But then an idea struck me. Rather than using data gathered in battle, I should use something a little more realistic. Turns out that beloved boy of yours, Bear, was quite brilliant when he put his mind to it. By my ingenuity, he has been reborn as the core of the greatest machine ever devised. Great Lord Valiance could conceive such a marvel. I'm annoyed by Valiance because he could be a good enemy if he wasn't so overblown and hammy. To think that Ali came here to steal the diamond weapon to save her brother, only to find he'd already become part of it. Perhaps it wasn't the reunion she'd envisioned, but I'm sure she was grateful nonetheless. Oh, might explain why Overmind activated all by itself. It was clearly an attempt to protect his precious sister. A fascinating anomaly, but I can't stand disobedience. That such atrocities continue unabated is proof of the rot that has spread through the Empire. It's always been like this. That's what empires are, you fool! This isn't a new development, Gaius! Crimes are not only an affront to Garlemald, all of mankind. Garlemald's always been like this. Gonna protect himself with a whiteboard. You've forgotten, Gaius. I've seen your data. I know your every move. Such pitiful swordsmanship is the relic of the past, just like you. Pull the trigger, Piglet. Also, that's insanely dangerous to have a bullet that's also on fire. Terminus est. It's the end of... Death is the end of something. This wasn't in my data. Mixed feelings on this storyline. Especially on Valens. The thing that annoys me is he could be a really good villain if he wasn't, like I said earlier, so hammy. And the thing is, like, the hamminess and overblownness of him is not reflected in the rest of the storyline, which is very serious and quite, like, incredibly fucked up. And then it's, in my mind, almost, like, ruined by having this villain who could be brilliant, you know, could be really interesting if he wasn't, you know, like that. Reactivating synthetic aura sight system. It's cool that I guess it's basically autonomous now. I can't believe he really is defending himself with, I mean, it's a tablet, not a whiteboard, but it looks like a whiteboard, so... Squish. Can I say something gross here? Squeeze him like a grape. How is it still functional? Removing memory inhibitors. I was right. You? Was he just gonna get pictures of all of the millions of aura that he's killed because he's fucked up? Even the names of those sacrificed in your twisted experiments are beneath your notice. You are beyond redemption. Who are you to judge me, Gaius? I mean, this is a fair point. Do you remember the names of the tens of thousands of men, women and children killed for the sake of your conquests? I do not deny the blood spilled at my behest. nor will I run from my past. I'll just say that the Garlemald I fought for was the right one, and that the modern Garlemald has been rotted as if that's not Empire from the start. To prevent the wrongs I committed from being repeated. Again, Gaius would be just fine in this storyline if he wasn't written so badly and there wasn't the assumption that we automatically forgive him. Can't do this to me. Valens. Can't end this way. Squeeze him like a grape. Be the name of the stream when I put it on YouTube. FF14. Squeeze him like a grape. Alphonse. Alphonse, my son, I have failed you, by brainwashing you into the Empire. This is not the end. I will see your dreams fulfilled. This I swear. I ask only that you, Melisandre, Rickon, and Rex watch over me. Father, the memories stored in the diamond weapon. Give them to Ali. In other words, pretty much everything in other news rather, pretty much everything I predicted would happen in this storyline has not happened, so watch over her in my stead. Father, I cannot go on like this. Please. I understand. Oh, boo him. Transfer memory through sword. What if I just didn't read out the lines that I don't like? On the fly editing of video games. I think my opinion of Werlyt as a whole is really that it is a good story badly written, and that there are so many, like, even my complaints with Valens aren't about Valens, it's about the way that he's written, the way that he's, like I was saying, so overblown when the rest of the storyline is very serious and very fucked up, and it's the same thing with Gaius. Like, I'm not opposed to redemption stories. God knows in fact, 3 of my favourite characters in this game are villains who go some way towards being redeemed. As anybody, I am terminally in love with both Fordola and Mesija, and I also really loved Yozio as well. Like, it's not necessarily that I'm opposed to that sort of like redemption story, it's that the way that it's written is not great. I suppose, like, if Gaius has to do anything, they may as well, like, make use of him. But I feel like Monaco had the right idea when she was like, I haven't forgiven you, we haven't forgiven you, and I only hope they don't come to regret their choice. And I feel like that's almost the way to treat it, is like, the people of Werlyt made their decision, they said, you caused this mess, you're getting us out of it, and just hope he can do that. Because clearly he's not very good at his actual job, which is killing Ascians, because that's mostly what we've been doing. Like, he's not even bothered to help at all with thingamajig. Been some time since we last heard from Gaius. I see. We will remain here until further notice. That was Gaius. Valens found Varro and the weapon project and no more. Seizing the opportunity, the Werlyt revolutionaries have taken control of the city. Though they still suffered considerable losses, they have at least gained their freedom. And even with the Empire gone, for people like me, life under Imperial rule is all we've ever known. We might never be able to heal the scars left by decades of oppression, Gaius. While there's hope for those who survive the ordeal, nothing can bring back the dead. The loss of my wife and daughter left a void in me that can never be filled. In the years since I've struggled to find a purpose, a reason to keep on living. It is the same for Gaius. No matter how hard he tries to make amends, the children he lost are gone forever. Thanks to his behaviour, his actions. Gosh, if only he hadn't adopted them and then brainwashed them, huh? Yeah. Wow. Ogle boggle, huh? Touching may result in severed appendages. MG part of its name supposedly stands for Master Garland or something along those lines. The recent events in Werlyt have had a profound impact on the lives of many, many people, but none more so than Ali. She's been in a state of shock ever since she returned. We even called in Sid, noted psychologist, to see if he can ascertain what the problem might be. You see, there's a strong possibility that the diamond weapon itself is what's caused Ali to close itself off like this. But for the time being, all we can do is wait. Ah, there was one other thing. Evelina came by looking for you earlier, so perhaps you could go and see her? Lurking, always more than welcome. It's usually what I do. I'm also very, very out of it. As per usual. That's right, when I finish this I've only got 2 articles to read for tomorrow and then I can pass out. Doing and degree, hard work. Tired all the time, cries. Thank you for coming to meet me. I'm glad to see you're none the worse for your experiences. Actually, I've been meaning to show you this. Thanks to the Alamegan resistance, the monument to the fallen is complete. Though they may no longer be with us, we'll never forget them. This way, they'll always be a part of Turncliffe, and future generations will be reminded of the sacrifices that were made. You were always so kind to me, and now it's my turn to do the same for others. Evelina is absorbed in prayer. Now would be a good time to return to Severa. So, for me, it's also weird, like, comparing this to Berger, which I guess has a similar, like, concept, even if the story is quite different. It almost feels like, I don't know. I need some time to, like, think about. Well, I think I'll probably need to replay it on my old to actually get close to having an actual opinion. I hope all is well with Evelina. Actually, while you were speaking with her, I received word that Gaius will be here soon. It's heavily the burden weighs on him, just as it does on me. In truth, it never gets any lighter. We can only hope to grow strong enough to bear it. Cross stuff off the bad Werlyt decisions. You said bingo board. I can't remember what I was saying or what I was thinking of, but bingo card. There we go. I know how to speak English. I know how language works. I can convey thoughts and ideas in meaningful sentences. I wish to see Ali. Would you send for her? Or you could just walk over to her. Or, like, ask if she wants to see you. It really does look like she's Ali. I'm gonna get Higarashi's scary eyes in a minute. Does she even recognize me? At first we thought the weapon's influence had caused this, but it seems there's more to it than that. The chirurgeons say that this is most likely a result of intense trauma. Her mind has been scarred, perhaps irrevocably. What a surprise, eh, lads? She boarded the diamond weapon with the intention of saving her brother. Little did she know that Valens had used the synthetic aura sight system to transform Alphonse into a living component of the machine. Mogzoom. Then, when she boarded the diamond weapon, she finally learned the horrible truth. Never heard of anything so cruel. Just a moment. In each of the previous cases, pilots became fused with the weapons core, so how was Ali able to escape a similar fate? Always asking the right questions, Severin. That's one of the many things we're still looking into. There's no need. I already know the answer. It was Alphonse who kept her safe. In the end, I was unable to save your brother, my son. All they wanted was a place to call home, where they could live in peace. But after all the pain and hardship they endured, this is their reward? No, this is not the end of their story. I taught them the strong must lead the weak, but absolute power corrupts absolutely, thanks Spider-Man, and those who have suffered at the hands of the corrupt are beyond counting. God, is he finally admitting it? That his precious empire has always been bad? Alphonse dreamed of a land without oppressors and the oppressed, where all may live as equals. Thanks to his sacrifice and that of his siblings, the cornerstones of such a nation have been laid. Melisandre, Rickon, Rex, Alphonse, and Ali. They risked everything to win the freedom of Werlyt. And now it has come to pass. I will see that their ideals are upheld. This I swear, as their father. Long and arduous process of rebuilding Werlyt has begun. In the days to follow, I shall be working alongside the new government to create a place that Ali and Severin would be proud to call home. People like Ali and Severin. For so long, all that kept me alive was hate, but the time has come to cast it aside. Don't. I was counting on you, Valdolin. I'm going with you. I'll only regret it if I don't. And while nothing I do can bring back the ones I've lost, I owe it to them to make the most of the life I've been given. So eat shit, guys. Times change. People change. And it's just as well. We inventors would soon find ourselves out of work if everything stayed the same. If you need for my creations, just say the word. No, guys. I could fill a book with all the things I've been meaning to say to you over the years. But what would be the point? What's done is done. There is one thing, though. If anyone can get through to Ali, it's you. She looks up to you the way I did as a boy. Don't give up on her. Also, don't keep emotionally abusing kids. Just thinking. I suppose he's out of the Empire now, so he's can't brainwash them, but... I feel like I'm being incredibly bitchy here. Would not have made it this far without my constant companions, Valdolin and Severin. In fact, I believe she has a few words to share with you. Finally found a reason to live for the present, for the future. All my life I've been searching for a place in the world. Everywhere I went, I was always on the outside looking in. But I've realised if we can't find one, we just have to make it ourselves. That's what I learned from Gaia's children. Despite everything, they never gave up, and neither will I. For now, at least, my place is at Gaia's side. I'll follow him and see where the journey leads. And before I leave, I want to tell you how grateful I am that you chose to stand by us until the end. I hope we'll meet again one day. All this time I've been trying to convince myself that Gaius was every bit the villain I'd imagined him to be. The ruthless subjugator of nations. Evil made flesh, I mean he was. And while many who fight under the banner of Garlemald are all that and more, I realise now that Gaius was driven by his own notions of right and wrong, misguided as they were. Since then he's turned his back on the Empire and its hateful doctrine. His guilt and anguish only strengthen his resolve. It's not how I read it, but okay. The day I spared his life, he was given a second chance, to set right the wrongs he committed, to become the man his children believed him to be. I was a father once, a husband. In many ways, I still am. And even though they're no longer with me, I want to be someone they will be proud of. Now, I too have been given a chance to make a difference, in a land far from home. I'll never forget my past, but neither will I be beholden to it. When I meet the people of Werlyt, I'll be sure to tell the tale of your bravery and compassion. May it grant them the strength to face the struggles ahead. Pray, go in peace, my friend. Though we were brought together under strange circumstances, Werlyt, Severa and I will continue to work together, at least for the foreseeable future. I feel like... I think I would describe Werlyt as a story as unsatisfying. Oh, here they are. This is your legacy, Gaius. And who might these charming young men be? They were found in the 7th Legion's headquarters, in one of the few areas that escaped unscathed following the Diamond Weapons Rampage. Perhaps that was Alphonse's intention. Do not be afraid. We mean you no harm. The thing on your forehead. Guardian doorbell. My name is Gaius Balsar, and like Valence van Varro, I was once a legatus of the Guardian Empire. Though I believed I was fighting for a just cause, my conquest came at a terrible cost. Sure did. Pray forgive me. I do not mean to scare you. If you would lend me your ears, I have a story to tell. Don't traumatize me even more. A group of courageous young men and women, not so different from yourselves, stood up to protect their people from the tyranny of the Empire. They fought with everything they had, and finally, victory was theirs, but it came at a terrible price. As their father, I still struggle to come to terms with their sacrifice, and yet they have entrusted the future to me, and I will stop at nothing to see their dreams fulfilled. Even so, there is only so much one old soldier can achieve by himself. I would be honoured to have your support in the days to come. Werlyt, take back your mantle of dad. At ease, lads. It's not as scary as he looks. And if he steps out of line, he'll have me to answer to. Werlyt really is the dad of light. Though they were fortunate enough to escape the destruction of the castrum, they may have been injured while fleeing. Have the chirurgeons, I finally learned how to say that word recently, look them over and find a place for them to stay. Always pronounced it chirurgeons. Chirurgeons, apparently. Kids acquired. Seems the time has come for us to go our separate ways once more. I myself can scarcely believe that we were once bitter adversaries. I can, but my encounters with you have led me to question the very ideals I swore to uphold. Something at least. What is strength? What is weakness? If those who grasp the reins of power are said to be the strong, then those who lack such power must therefore be weak. For better or for worse, however, we are far more complex creatures than that. Congrats on, basic understanding that people cannot be ascribed to binaries. I see now that the strength of spirit is not granted by others, but resides within us. Strength of character, of spirit, of resolve. Hiccups. Therein lies the power to cast off the shackles of oppression, to overcome any adversity, to stand firm in the face of impossible odds. That is the strength you possess. May it never leave you. And then Maeve shanks Gaius in the back of the neck. Seems I'll have to summon all the resolve I can muster if I am to keep my promise to Alphonse. The process of establishing the independent governance of Werlyt is underway, and I will do all in my power to see it become everything my children dreamed of and more. For the immediate future, we should continue to work closely with the Alamegan Resistance, whose role in the revolution cannot be understated. Yeah, Gaius. Reminds me, if you're passing by Porta Praetoria, the soldiers stationed there may wish to hear your version of events. Please, give them my regards. I hope that when our paths cross again, I will have glad tidings to share with you. Until we next meet. do feel like unsatisfying really is how I feel about this story. It's almost like it could, as good story nuggets badly written, but it's also like, in my opinion at least, like, I feel like this sort of story of nations becoming independent was so much better done with Boja, that by comparison the way that it's been done here just feels kind of like underwhelming in a sense. It disappoints me because it's not terrible, but it's not great either. It's solidly meh in my opinion, except for like the world building stuff. But it's disappointing because I really do feel like it could have been done better. But I was talking to Pisopals about this earlier, and like, certainly the way that I feel about this, all of the 5.x storyline, and I do not mean this as a put down, is that they had a beginning and an end and they didn't have a middle. And that's sort of what it feels like here, where they had a beginning and then they were like, oh shit, we have to get to the end. And it feels like, I don't know, that ending just, it's I don't want to say it's an unsatisfying ending, because like, it's not even that. I can't explain the way I feel about it. It just feels like it's beginning and an ending and not a middle. And like, obviously because of COVID more than anything else, but that's how I feel about the whole 5.x storyline, and specifically like the way that Fordola was taken out the summoner storyline and put into the MSQ. It's one of the only times I can think of that something like that's been done, where they've retconned a previous quest to the point of like completely moving a character. I'm sure it's existed in it, but it seems like this is like the most overt example of it perhaps, and I'm guessing that's because they had to change stuff thanks to COVID, and you know, they had plans, but like, if you play like me as a summoner, if you've done the summoner quest, it feels weird to have that retconned, especially because I'm pretty certain it could like gel perfectly fine with 5.MSQ 5.5. I guess they're expecting that people would do like the summoner quest at the end of 5.5 rather than end of Shadowbringers, like, you know, you would if you were playing through Shadowbringers. I don't know, I'm not wording this well. It just feels kind of, thanks to COVID, it feels like a lot of the 5.x storyline, everything that's come out of the last year, has been perhaps, I don't want to say shabbier than intended, but like, because I've enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the 5.x storyline. It's been really good, and I'm looking forward to 5.5x or whatever it is, the next one that's got the next MSQ in it, 0.55. It just, don't know. I'm not wording my thoughts well at all. Let's just hand this question, huh? Rather than me continue to try and garble ideas out. Welcome back, Maeve. Congratulations on another hard-earned victory. Ever since we first heard the news, I've been dying to hear exactly how it all unfolded. So, what can you tell me of this diamond weapon? Well, it's very fucked up and all terrible and nothing good happened and it's all bad. By Rolga's beard. Even for the Empire, that must be a new low. Those poor orphans. I can only pray that the citizens of Werlyt are able to enjoy the freedom that Gaia's swords gave their lives for. At the very least, we need no longer live in fear of the monstrous creations birthed by the Weapon Project. I shall add your account to our official report. Finally, on behalf of the Alamegan Resistance, and the whole of Eorzea for that matter, allow me to express my heartfelt gratitude. Thank you. CG. Sansa Sid Garland, something similar. Memories stored in the diamond weapon. Give them to Ali. Having just escaped all hell from Yorha, but back in it. very sorry if you heard the sound of a car roaring by just there. I thought that was happening in-game and I was like, the fuck kind of noise is this? No, it was, dickheads outside. Remember when you were... What? I remember when that was you. Like, this is actually meaningful. Like, these kids were good eggs and they had friends and they changed people's lives. They should be the center of the story, if you ask me. Yet another retcon. To me, the retconning of that is retconning of Liv Yorha is to me the most upsetting part of this story still. Because like that more than anything is like, yeah, let's just make this guy better than he actually was. Projections from within the synthetic aura site. These are his memories. Their memories. Look away from the screen lest my eyes hurt. I don't want to live in a world without you. That's why I'm going with you. No, not yet, Ali. Now is not your time. Father still needs you. Please take care of him, in our place. And if you're worried about Alphonse, don't be. He's got us for company. We want you to see this new world for yourself. Like, this is... I like this bit because it's about the people who have suffered the most. These kids, and we will forever be at your side, Ali. the effect that they had. They deserve better. I'm the only one left. We're free of Spooky Eyes realm, thank goodness for that. But I'll never be alone in a zone full of boys. Appropriate sunrise. Father. That sunrising there was very well timed. If it was intentional, it was still well timed. I still feel hurried. I guess just that it could have been done better. But you know, YMMV, this is not just my game, you know, it's everyone's game, and people are allowed to have different opinions, if you ask me. Unlock me Diamond EX, please. Which I've decided I'm not going to do a learning party for because it's nearly 10 o'clock and I don't have the energy. The most formidable of all the weapons, one that requires no introduction. Having said that, I'll give one regardless. Let me begin with this alternate name, AEW1Z. Like other models, it is an anti-icon war marker, and the I, or 1, is a numeral indicating it belongs to the first series of prototypes. Z seems to imply that it's the final version. This is merely conjecture on my part, but the ruby, sapphire and emerald weapons appear to have been designed from the outset to gather data for making improvements to the diamond weapon. But that's not all. The diamond weapon was equipped with a certain element that the other models lacked. This enabled it to reach its final perfected state, but it's the nature of this element that troubled me. After reading the reports, I'm still having trouble coming to terms with the sacrifices made in the name of the weapon project. Perhaps we should give a moment of silence for the young lives lost. Which I've actually got to enjoy the trial more. I was planning to give the sculpture to the people of Werlyt as a reminder of the brave souls whose deeds eventually led to independence from the Empire. As with my previous works, the sculpture can also be used to reenact your encounter with a weapon. I hope it will prove useful in preparing for whatever the future holds in store. I keep thinking, like, the fight feels unsatisfying to me, but I think it's because none of the fights in this particular storyline have been as good as Ruby. Like, Ruby, in my opinion, was such a good fight, and it was also genuinely, like, it was so, like, intense, it was genuinely, like, freaky. I don't know, I don't have to... Words are hard. It was good. War Machina developed by the 7th Imperial Legion, a successor to the Ultimate Weapon. Although it's the 4th reported instance of the synthetic Aurosite system being employed in battle, the diamond weapon differed from the previous models in that it did not incorporate the combat data of a renowned Imperial soldier. Instead, a living subject, the man known only as Alphonse, was fused with the core prior to activation. The diamond weapon itself is believed to have gained the primal abilities possessed by the previous weapons, though the exact process used is still under investigation. In addition to the various armaments concealed within its outer casing, the diamond weapon displayed combat capabilities similar to those of Ruby and Emerald. By purging the bulk of its armour, it was able to further increase its manoeuvrability. According to various sources, the diamond weapon's creator, Valian Sanvaro, had originally planned to overthrow the Guardian capital and seize the throne. Due to the actions of Ali, mostly, and secondarily us, this did not come to pass. Fostered, Aunt's older brother, friend freedom, not include Ali in their plans. After learning the truth, she tried to rescue Alphonse by taking care of the control of the diamond weapon. Once she was inside the cockpit, she discovered that Alphonse had been fused with its core, and he was beyond salvation. She was yet to recover from the trauma she suffered that day. Ali is currently undergoing treatment in Turncliffe at the orders of Gaius. She's been awarded the Medal of Independence by the new government of Werlyt. 8 at time of incident described as 16 fucking years old. It's 3 years younger than my brother. It's fucked up. Gain via verbal testing. Trained as an engineer. Introduced to tactics, brought him success on the battlefield. Doing your ultimate project. Support engineering methods is viewed with contempt by even his fellow Imperials. Having analysed the Empire's data on the Heart of Speak and similar artifacts, Valens developed the synthetic aura sight system. It was designed to fuse the pilot with the machine's core during battle in order to enhance its abilities, killing the subject in the process. The system was perfected with the completion of the diamond weapon, in which a living soldier was integrated with the core prior to activation. Valens' plan to use this technology to seize the Imperial throne was eventually undone by the self-same pilot that he'd selected to take part in the weapon project. Gaius, I guess, like, knocked him out, but mostly it was Alphonse. Alphonse did most of the hard work. Anyway, folks. What is that barding? That's extremely cool. Oh, wow, I love that. Sorry, I completely got distracted there. It is a shorter stream than usual, but I have unfortunately got stuff to do, so I am going to end the stream off here. I'm going to say thank you very much for watching. It is very, very much appreciated, and I do hope that you enjoyed. Thank you very much for the raid, Miha Wallace. Thank you for all the follows. It is very appreciated. More than I can say. I will be streaming Higurashi When They Cry, Tsukio Toshi, got to remember the name this time, tomorrow, which is a retelling of Tetari Goroshi and Meakashi, so I'm intrigued to see how that goes, given how instantly fucked up Tamawashi was. Then on Saturday, it'll be our final playthrough for now of Heaven Will Be Mine, where we will be going for the equal ending, the hidden ending, with all three factions completely equal, and playing as Saturn again because I miss her and I love her. Then on Sunday, it'll be Destiny 2, where we will be probably trying the hardest to get through the rest of the challenges that I haven't completed yet. And then next Tuesday will be Final Fantasy XIV, where I'll be doing, you know, the usual, some raids, some roulettes, get back into Delebra and Regina Hell, might finally start catching our shut up on stuff. We will see. But for now, take care, have a wonderful evening, do look after yourselves and be excellent to each other. Thank you very much for coming along, and I shall see you guys tomorrow.